Southgate reveals he's been very impressed by Brentford star Toney. Gareth Southgate has revealed that he is keeping a close eye on Ivan Toney, but indicated that the Brentford striker needs to score in the Premier League for a more sustained period before he can be picked by England. Toney scored a record 31 championship goals in the regular season last term as Thomas Frank's men were promoted following their 2-0 play-off final win over Swansea at Wembley in May. The Bees have gone from strength to strength since and currently sit ninth in the top flight after 6 games and just 1 defeat, having outplayed Arsenal on the opening day of the campaign and most recently drawn 3-3 with Liverpool. Toney has been instrumental in the West London side's success in the top flight with 2 goals and 2 assists to his name, and speaking ahead of England's 2022 World Cup qualifiers with Andorra and Hungary, Southgate explained what the 25-year-old needs to do to get into his squad. "We have been very impressed with Toney," Southgate said. "We were impressed with him at Brentford last year. We have watched him this season, so we know all about him. We weren't looking to take an additional striker for this camp, but he is definitely a player we are monitoring closely. I think he has had a really good start to his Premier League career, as Brentford have had. We want a player who can firstly score goals," Southgate added. "Can they score goals at the highest level? Can they score goals in the big matches against the best teams and the best defenses? That is going to determine, in the end, the top level of players. Toney is clearly a much greater threat in terms of his aerial presence and his ability to flick things on and attack crosses. That suits the way Brentford play, they play to those strengths. Ollie Watkins is probably the best pressing centre forward in the league, for example. But, in the end, it comes down to scoring goals. Tammy Abraham is another player whose name has been mentioned regarding a call-up. The 23-year-old has 4 goals and 2 assists in 9 games since joining Jose Mourinho's Roma, who currently sit 4th in Serie A. Tammy has started well. "It's quite early stages," Southgate said. "I have exchanged messages with Jose just to keep a track on that. He's another player who we know has been with us before. We are probably only talking about 6 or 7 English strikers, really, that are either playing in the Premier League or, as Tammy is, playing in one of the big European leagues. So it's not a huge pool to cover at the moment. We will keep monitoring those guys really closely." England are currently 4 points clear at the top of their World Cup qualifiers.